As we all know, words are powerful. What we say and how we say them are important. I've had experience with both constructive and deconstructive words, but I want to talk about how words are constructive. When bad things happen to people, they usually associate them with deconstructive words, but in the hardest times of my life, I've had nothing but constructive words. As you all know, my brother has cancer, but what none of you know is that my grandmother did 2 years prior. I'm going to start with her and then shift to my brother. I found out that my grandmother had cancer a few weeks before she died. By the time that I knew, she was already terminal. And this was particularly hard because she was only 57. On the day of her viewing, we had a line that, we had 2 different time slots, and there was a line out the door the entire time, which, coming from a small town, is not a normal thing. And also, on the day of her burial, the day that we took her to the cemetery, she had a 50-car processional, which is also not common. Even though this particular story isn't about words, it shows the actions of people who knew her and knew her family, and that it spoke louder than words. The second instance of constructive words is this whole battle with my brother. In 2 Corinthians 4:16-18, Paul wrote, "So we do not lose heart, though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this slight momentary affliction is preparing us for an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison, as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are transient, but the things that are unseen are eternal." This verse was actually a daily devotion verse of mine a few days after I found out about my brother. From the day that my family found out about my brother, our families had nothing but support from people in our community to people who we've never even met. But the words of encouragement that we still get today, 4 months later, are still impactful. The person who uses the most constructive words is actually my brother. He's not one to show emotion, he never has been, and through all this, it has not changed. He still is an emotionless kid, which is kind of funny. But, every time I would start to worry or get upset, he would actually physically yell at me and tell me that everything's going to work out, and if it doesn't, that's what God wants. And there's something that my dad had said to me not long after the diagnosis. He told me that God picks his strongest warriors to fight his toughest battles. And he was right, because my brother is the strongest kid that I know. And the last piece of constructive words dealing with tribulations of my life, are lyrics from the band Casting Crowns. The lead singer of the band, Mark Hall, had cancer earlier in 2016. He wrote this song about his battle, and the lyrics have helped me with my brother's diagnosis. Some of you might have heard the song. It's called "Oh My Soul," and some of the lyrics say, "Oh my soul, you're not alone. There's a place where fear has to face the God you know. One more day, he'll make a way. Let him show you. You can lay this down because you're not alone." And this little bit was from the chorus. It's one of the many things that has touched me from the song. That was actually sent to me from a really good friend who didn't really know what to say. He didn't know how to approach it. And because he was unsure how to respond, he didn't realize that giving me that song spoke louder than words. And God has used this song to show me that I'm not alone. Because when I found out about my brother, I felt really lost, and I felt like God had left our family again. So I took a different approach on this speech, but I wanted to spread some light on everyone's day and show you that even in the hardest times, find someone who has positive and constructive words.